Alright, hello. I'm Stain Tockton. You may or may not know me from things. And I currently have Diamondcup67 right here. Say hello if you want to.
Hello.
Awesome. Alright, so I guess you could tell a little bit about yourself. Do whatever.
I am Diamondcup67, and I make content.
Awesome. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So I got a few topics today. You and I have already talked about.
Mhm.
Talking about things. So yeah, let's just jump straight into that. So my main problem is trying to make sure I don't ask questions that were already asked on your question website. Shameless plug. Go to diamondcup67.com for all your shenanigans. No, so overall, I think we should start with animation as a whole. Because I feel like, personally, once knowing you from certain projects, like, what was it, one, and you did another one. What am I thinking of?
I think I was on. I was an animator on Teapot. I don't know if that's what you were thinking of.
No, not Teapot. Crap. It's the one where, like, the style changes every 2 seconds. Crap.
OSO?
Yeah, I think so. Were you a voice actor for that, I think?
Yeah.
Alright.
For organic fruit and grain bar.
Nice. But in regards to animation, I feel, one thing immediately is working on projects. You said you worked on Teapot.
Mhm.
I'm guessing the 3rd episode?
The second and first.
Oh, nice. Alright. But overall, like, what's your thought process in, I guess, just making any of your skits for your channel, or animation for bigger projects overall? Oh, dogs.
Well, for the like skits on my channel, is kind of like, guys, the process is kind of like weird to explain because it just kind of like drops on my head one day, and then I have like a huge list of skits to do.
Yeah.
And I have a ton of ideas right now for a bunch of things and projects I could do, and so it's mainly just like figuring out which ones to do at what time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
For the most part, yeah.
I'm assuming motivation is also going to be a main factor in that, of like what ideas seem more feasible than others.
Yeah.
Because like, it also probably comes from just whatever prompts you give yourself. Like, say something like a 9-second song is probably going to be a little bit easier than like date night.
Yeah.
I still don't understand date night. I need to rewatch that. No.
Fair.
Yeah. I feel like date night was a fever dream. It's gonna happen. No. So you talked about Teapot. I guess you could talk about your experiences there, but like, what other shows do you recall having animations for, or like anything interesting in regards to that?
I think that's mainly I animated on Teapot and open source objects for a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else that isn't like stuff I made.
Right. Yeah.
That I animated on. I don't remember. I guess Object Battle City. I animated it in episode 3, I think, and I'm animating for the next episode. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, animation obviously takes a lot of hours and just dedication that I feel like just isn't present sometimes. So, like, what keeps you motivated in general when it comes down to animating?
Well, if I'm able to get myself to start, then it's like I might as well finish it. So
Yeah, that's fair.
that's mainly the hardest thing, is starting it.
All right. And I guess going hand in hand with that would be the voice acting aspect, because you've been voice acting for a bit, as we mentioned. What's it? OSO.
Yeah.
And also you do all the voice acting for your channel for everything from your smaller projects to something like OFA or BSCY. And I guess in terms of diversity for that, how do you end up creating diverse voices that end up standing out? Whether or not that might just be by character design, and you feel like X voice would fit with Y character.
So I usually just try to like make up voices, just like on the spot, just like of like whatever. It can be a really stupid voice, a really normal voice, something like that.
Yeah.
If I like can't think of anything on my own, I usually just try and see if I can do like an impression of like a random person, even if it's like a totally terrible impression. That actually works better because then it's like I don't have to refer to the impression because it's so bad.
Do you have examples
And
of
I
that?
can just take it. What?
Sorry, do you have examples of that for any characters?
I'm trying to think. I think Bally's voice was like my impression. There's this like I forgot the name of this. There's just like one I think like Twitch streamer who has like a really deep voice. I don't remember his name.
Corpse Husband is the only one I can.
Yeah, Corpse
No
Husband,
way.
and I think Bally was like an impression of that. Yeah,
Damn.
I just like because he had a really deep voice that surprised me.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard it, so I wanted to do a really deep voice for him, for
I
Bally.
Yeah. I remember my older sister was like freaking out over Corpse Husband, and I ended up like going on like a binge of like, why is this guy's voice so deep? He's got like some gastro, like craziness.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was just like, I haven't heard his voice that deep before, so I was like,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
I always assumed Bali was something based off of Airy, which I guess could be another topic of mine, which is coming up with Airy's idea for
Mhm.
the voice. That's your big character that no one shuts up about. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of that. So in regards to Airy, which I guess is the next little subgenre topic that we have. I don't know why
Mhm.
subgenre, but in regards to making Airy's voice, because I always assumed that and Baldy kind of went hand in hand, but was that just like direction from Cheesy of kind of character analysis in a sense, or?
Cheesy wanted like a specific, like monotone, low voice for Airy, and he thought I was a good candidate for that.
Mm.
So he came up to me and like was like, "Can you do a voice like this?" And I was able to do it. So
Yeah.
that's how I became Airy.
From what I'm aware of, when talking with people, occasionally from like the one cast, it just kind of came down to like people being friends with Cheesy or people he knew from the community already that he just kind of snagged.
Yeah, for the most part, like we're all good friends, so it's just
Yeah.
simple.
In regards to say other shows, how was the audition process for that, or the recruiting process for that, of voicing other characters from shows that you didn't immediately direct?
I think the only other major thing I've been on was like OSO, and I think they had like a public auditions thing.
Oh.
And I did like a voice for Organic Fruit and Grain Bar. I think it was like a Chill's voice impression at the time, and everyone thought it was really funny, so that's how I got it on
Yeah.
for his character.
That's nice. Yeah, so I guess voice acting as a whole, I mean, to be fair, it's already going to be a less grueling process in animation. I think that's a given.
Mhm.
But say there are problems with, I guess, voices on a given day, whether that be, I don't know, illness, maybe like a dry throat, something like that. It prevents you from recording in certain days. Have you ever had like experiences with something like that, of like sickness preventing products?
Not really. I get sick like very rarely.
Mm.
And when I do, it usually passes by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So there isn't really any stuff like that. Usually my voice is fine every day. So that's pretty convenient.
I guess, yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
I gotta think. So when it comes down to, I guess, BSCY, which might be our next little segue there,
Mhm.
obviously voice acting a bunch of those characters is gonna be a process when designing and doing development and analysis over who has what voice and etc. But I feel like in general with the show, what was your thought process coming from OFA being canceled, going into BSCY? Like, what was going on? What was going on up there? That's kind of a weird way to say it.
Okay.
What's going on with that head of yours?
I don't know. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like OFA had like I had a lot of problems with OFA that
yeah.
I felt like was kind of not worth investing into. Just like a lot of personal aspects of the show that I really didn't like. And so I wanted to like move into doing something where I had way more control, way more freedom to just like do whatever I want. Because I feel like OFA, I kind of put myself into like a box, and that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to move into something else, and be able to do it with like my own terms or whatever. So I kind of saw BSCY as like kind of like a restart, like a refresh, and trying to do it again, but in a better way. I think that works better for me.
Nice. Yeah. Are you interested in going into some details of why you thought OFA wasn't going that in like the direction you wanted it to, or like undermining?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, it was like a lot of issues. Well, one thing, I think, first off, episodes are coming out very infrequently, which unfortunately I don't think has changed much. But
That's that's every object show. Ever,
yeah.
For whatever reasons they might have.
Yeah, it's like BSCY 1 is also like a year ago, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that.
I can't believe it's been a year. That's
yeah. But that was one thing. It was like episodes are coming out really infrequently. Although I'm trying harder to not repeat that with BSCY. I think I'm trying to remember what else, because I know I did also answer this on my Q&A.
Oh,
I'll probably
shit.
refer to that.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine. It was like one time, so it's
Scrolls
fine.
through months of questions about like,
Are you voicing Airy?
to find.
I'm trying to see. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. I was just getting less interested in the show in general. Also, was another thing. And also, oh yeah, the biggest reason is I think I kind of realized that like OFA is just way too much. I kind of like because originally like when I was making the show in 2017, I wanted to get episodes out really quickly with a huge cast, otherwise it'll like never be finished. So like episodes coming out really infrequently was like really bad considering the size of the cast, because it would be like I'm just like living this for the rest of my life, and it's like I'm not doing that. So
no.
So yeah. So that is another thing, because at least with BSCY it's a much smaller cast, so I can kind of afford to spend more time on it. But OFA is like I have to get done really quickly, otherwise it's like gonna be way too much. And I think it just wasn't worth continuing.
And that's another topic I want to get into, which is in regards to BSCY's ideas in regards to cast and character design. Casts, I mean, I don't know about you, I think the average size I see is probably around double of what BSCY has to offer. And whether I don't know if that's in regards to knowing that coming from OFA, having a huge cast, you like really wanted to, I guess, get a minimal viable product out in a reasonable time, or just wanting to restrict yourself more than you think you should have, or in regards to just thinking 6 characters was good to work with, competitor wise at least.
Yeah, because I knew going into BSCY I wanted to do BSCY like completely solo, do everything solo, so that was already like a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
So I made the cast like really small so that it is at least doable for me.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah.
And also I think this is I don't know if anyone's asked this question, but I always found something. I think personally what made BSCY unique is the fact that it's not necessarily restricted or limited to this is a plum, that's a marker, etc. These characters are very unique, and some of them are, I think, a little bit easier to determine what they are than others. So what were your design processes for some of them? Like if I remember correctly, I think it's crap. I really hope I don't F up these names. Was it Zook? Is that his name?
Yeah.
The peach, or I'm assuming is a peach. I could be wrong. But like some of them feel like a little easier to determine than, say, like Train. I don't know what that is. So what are your characters in BSCY? If you can answer that even without going into making stuff up.
I had to see.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I
load
think.
up BSCY 1 real quick.
Yeah, let me just look at the thumbnail real quick.
Do I remember?
So I had to see the only ones I know for sure. I know Basil's a person. Rose is a cat. I don't know what kind of cat, but Rose is a cat.
Yeah.
I think Zook is a carrot, but I'm not sure.
Oh, really? I can see
Yeah.
that. No, I can see that.
I'm not too sure though, but I think Zook is a carrot.
Yeah. Would crayon just be a crayon, I guess?
All I know is that I wanted crayon to be like some sort of demon, I guess.
Right.
Hence the redness.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought it was beige. No.
And I think everyone else, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. In regards to character design, because I know there was like some really interesting, I guess, quirks or gimmicks in regards to the characters, like Bali being X amount of years old, which I think that's actually really unique. But what were your thoughts when designing each character in regards to like anything interesting that they would have, or any quirks in regards to, I don't know, movement, dialogue, just overall being, yeah. What's going on up there? No.
I'm trying. Sorry, what was the question again? Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I was just wondering, in regards to character design and having any quirks or gimmicks amongst characters, whether just in general or for movement, dialogue, etc. Like, what were original thought processes or just like prompts that you gave yourself when making them?
I think the designs, for the most part, were kind of just like, I'm trying to think. I think some of them were spontaneous, but some of them were like more thought out. I think, if I remember correctly, I think like Basil. Who else? Was it Basil? I think like Basil, Bali, and I think like Train maybe were more like spontaneous. I remember Train was from like an improv video, and that was just like spontaneous.
An improv
I think
video?
Amber also. No, Amber was from a music video, I think. And then I took her
Elaborate on
design.
that. Improv and music videos. What do we got here?
Yeah. Well, Train was, because I don't know if you know about the improv. That's like a thing I have on my website.
Oh, I think
Of
I do.
like, yeah, which basically just like I'm improvising on the keyboard, and I just like animate it really simple. It's like kind of like the music videos, but like way simpler. Train was from, I think, one from like September 25th, 2020. The design was from that, and then Amber was from the Change music video. I think like during the party scene, I think she was like in the background somewhere,
Yeah.
like near the end of it.
I'm just finding this. Holy crap, it's in audio.
Yeah.
Oh, your most recent one was like very recently, and then the one before that, not so much.
Yeah.
Change presentation. Let me see this.
Was it? Oh, I have to check. I don't remember if it was that one.
I don't.
Which one was it?
I could be wrong. Change looks like a bunch of people. Want to learn physics? Look at that.
Oh, Train was from the Catch one.
Catch? Oh,
Yeah.
Catch. Is that the That was on your YouTube. I'm pretty sure I saw that one.
So I didn't put my. This one was on my Twitter. I put some of them on my Twitter like.
Oh, I'm thinking of
years ago,
Nuke Ball.
so.
I'm thinking of Nuke Ball.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like a separate thing.
Yeah, no, Tyler.
Okay.
No, that's cool though. Yeah. So going forward,
Yeah.
with BSCY, I mean, first things first. I'm just gonna assume, that you've already looked at what the votes are for BSCY. You already know what the general plan is, hopefully, for what's coming
Yeah.
in BSCY 2. I mean, I don't want to be like spoil your plans, but is there anything you're willing to discuss about that without getting into details that you want us to watch whenever the video is released?
Yeah, well, I've already written the script for episode 2
Oh,
and
wow.
like most of the audio, but I've kind of been stuck since there. So, but the episode is like already planned out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I won't press on to that
Yeah.
anymore. Have you looked at? So I'm guessing that means you've looked at votes. Do you got a number of votes? I'm curious, just because I want to see.
Number of I had to. Let me see if I can find it. I had to pull it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Cause for BSCY, because I know there was that whole weird, or not weird. There was that like year in between season 1 and season 2, and I feel like when season 2 came back, so did the I don't want to say relevancy, but the crave of one actors.
Yeah, well, I
crave
mean,
for.
voting for BSCY 1, I don't remember how long it was, but it was like at most a week or something like
I
that.
think it was always like 48 hours or a week. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah.
It was like January of last year. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
You had. Let's see here.
Well, that's a
Basil talking. Let's go.
Didn't the thing say?
Let's see here.
that means.
Of course, my computer's
Train?
the
Oh, yeah,
laggiest thing right
almost
now.
forgot.
because,
Thanks. So those are the people
yes.
you, as in the audience, vote to eliminate. Go.
All right, I'll find it later.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that goes into a little bit of the next topic in regards to the fact that you're doing everything for BSCY by yourself. That includes audio, voice acting, and it includes music composition.
Mhm.
And at least from like a music nerd like me, I'm gonna ask the dumbest things that no one is gonna be thinking about or knows. Like, I'm not gonna go on a microtonality because first of all, I doubt, but second of all, like people are gonna think that's an iPhone app. Like, I don't know what.
I mean, I've heard of it, but like I don't really know about it. So
Yeah, no. So I guess a good first step is sound fonts. If you use any that you think are important. I know a lot of people use video game sound fonts. I think the one soundtrack is, I want to say, like Mother 3 for sound fonts from that video game. But like what do you generally use besides, like, I guess, insert name of roads or insert name of you know.
I don't really use sound fonts. I kind of just use like whatever the like DAW has.
Do you use FL or do you use
Well, I use like GarageBand, so.
Oh shit. Okay, damn.
Yeah. So I just kind of use like what it has there.
No, yeah, I see what you mean. In regards to music composition, I guess first off, just how long has music been, at least composition-wise, important to your life? I say it so like profoundly. How long have you been doing music?
Well, I guess like, I've been doing music for like 2 years. I guess technically 4, if you want to be specific about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't really get into it until like 2020. So
Yeah.
I'd say like 2 years about.
So I'm guessing you're a piano player.
Yeah.
Now this is something I think is interesting when I see people whenever they compose. Do you generally like play out the MIDI, or do you? I guess the term would be kind of like draw it in the MIDI when you compose.
Oh no, I have like a keyboard and I just
Quantize.
play it from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like an adapter, so it just connects straight to the thing. and
Oh
I
no,
can
yeah,
just play it.
same. Mine's like
Yeah.
USB related. That's cool. So music composition, I guess not necessarily just in relation to BSCY, but also in relation to the skits and mini songs you have on your channel that I guess kind of space out the uploads. I'm guessing that's a similar plot, like that's a similar process of let me think. Hold on. What question am I trying to ask? It's I hate when I do that. Okay, yeah. So when it comes down to overall music composition, I guess for your skits and such, what usually comes first, like the idea or the song?
For the skits, it's usually just like whatever, I guess.
That's poor choice of words. I'm assuming that's just like background. I mean for like the music videos in general.
Oh, for the music video. The music videos I usually try and write beforehand and figure out how I want to do it first, and then I go in and like make it once I figure out the writing for it first.
Yeah.
So music videos are more like careful in that sense.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. It's like more thought out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool to know. Yeah. No, in general, I get. Oh, whoa, nice voice crack. It's in general. No. When it comes down to music composition as a whole, as you said, you already it kind of something you pick up during COVID. Did you expect, or not COVID, over 2020? Did you expect that to become something that would end up being important for future uploads? Like, did you pick up music specifically to assist with the video making process, or just more as like a hobby that kind of just worked its way in?
Well, I still see music kind of like secondary to the videos,
Right.
and I wanted to pick up music for like a really long time. I originally got into music because I wanted to make like my own music for OFA, but I was completely like inexperienced, so I wasn't really able to do it then.
Right.
But it was still like something that I wanted to get into because I thought it was pretty cool, and I wasn't really able to figure out until I started playing the keyboard again, and then it kind of just like exploded from there.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get that. And I guess this is gonna segue into our next little bit, in regards to just the video making process, of, I mean, I we already mentioned animation. I don't necessarily really go back to that topic. There's not much to talk about. Mm-hmm. Do you animate? Yes. Moving on. No, but I guess let's go to the, I don't want to say main subject, but the one people are going to be paying attention to, which is, I guess, one related tidbits.
Mm-hmm.
People have asked you, I bet, a bunch of different questions. I think I remember seeing a thing on your questions website where people are like, "Hey, what's a fun fact from one?" or something interesting. I think I might have asked that stupid question, and like the response I got was like, "Did you know Liam had 2 grandmothers?" And I remember sitting there and being like, "Oh, that's neat," and then thinking about it and being like, "That's kind of how life works."
Yeah.
Generally, there are 2 mothers to make whatever. No, but what are some interesting things about one? Just I guess in general, from the perspective of not a showrunner and from I guess a cast member more than anything, because like you see it from a different side as compared to someone who's in the production of doing compositions for different scenes or script writing or animation, yada yada.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, working on one with Cheesy. I mean, Cheesy's still pretty like secretive of like the behind the scenes. Still, there's still a lot of stuff that like I wasn't aware of behind the scenes, and most of it was willing because what Cheesy would do, like giving us the lines for our thing, he would only give us the scripts to like episodes that we were in, episodes that. So like episodes I wasn't voice acting, I didn't have the scripts for, so I didn't know what was going on at all.
Wow. So like early season 2, you had no idea.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
And even then, when he gave me like the scripts for the episodes that Ari was in, I like intentionally didn't look at all the other lines. I only read the lines that I did.
Oh wow. Okay.
Maybe other ones for context. So I still largely didn't know what was going on.
So you first discovered what was happening when they were releasing back in June, July, August.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So I guess that brings us to, I mean, like you mentioned, that he's pretty secretive about what's going on back there.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. My dogs have been barking in the background, so I'm probably gonna try to have the recording just woof. Yeah.
I think that was like the vacuum. Someone was vacuuming, so
Now you're chill.
bring it up. Yeah.
Now you're chill. I've never said that sentence. No. So you talked about Cheesy being secretive. I guess. I mean, I don't want to say it in that sense, but I'm assuming you'd also, I mean, like immediately respect him being secretive about some of the stuff. But you said there's some things you didn't discover until a little while after. Are you able to delve into that, or do you want to maintain the secrecy? Keep the magic. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think most of the stuff I didn't know was just like stuff that's in the episode. So I think most of it is just out right now since it's finished now. I don't think there's anything in particular that's still like a secret.
Yeah. What were some of your like biggest questions working on one, I guess, in the process, especially for because like given the fact that you only got scripts for episodes you were in, I'm assuming you had at least a relative general idea throughout season 1, but season 2 is probably just a bit of a question session for you.
Yeah. I think it like goes again, like most of the questions are like have been answered in the episodes.
But like before they were released, what were like some questions you had that you were like eventually answered?
I didn't have much question, but I do remember. I think there's this one day where like I was in like a voice call with Cheesy, and it was with the scene. I forgot which episode it was, but there's a scene where like I think it's episode 17. I think it's the one where Liam and Bryce are like going through all the crazy like worlds and stuff.
Oh, I think that's
like
it's like 14 or something. Yeah.
Oh, 14. Yeah.
With the radio
That's
and
wait.
Yeah.
They're like going through a bunch of different worlds and dying. There was one part in that scene with Liam and Bryce where they're in this like how you say, this like 3D world, and then there's like a cube that comes down and like crushes them.
Yeah.
So Cheesy like needed help with me with like setting that up, and so I was like telling him like how to set up the scene so that like cubes can fall and stuff, and like the physics and whatever. And I was curious to know like what this was for, and all he told me was that Liam and Bryce get crushed. And that was the answer I was least expecting. So
damn.
For like up until that episode, that was like the only question I had, is like how did they get in that circumstance?
What's happening here? Oh yeah, they die. Just damn. That is.
And I was like, he didn't say anything more than that, so I was like, whoa, okay.
You gonna crush me if I don't help you? Like,
I guess.
No, that's funny. I mean, I guess this was something I know had a bit of controversy, which is just the ending of 1 in general. Did you feel satisfied with the ending of 1? I guess is kind of the question I'm asking, or if not, just like, what would have you, I guess, have done differently, or where would you go from there? Given,
I don't know. I think it's a pretty good ending. Like, I think it's like not, at least from my opinion, I think it's like not obvious at first, but I think it's kind of like you don't really have to show any more to like know that they're gonna be fine. Because like Liam's at the helm, Aries gone. I think it's like a pretty good ending. I don't know, in my opinion.
I know personally when it comes down to it, because when 118 came out, I remember there being just of so much craziness. Because at the time I was still looking at OFD frequently, which was my biggest mistake ever. That was, I don't know why I did that. But I remember when it came out, just the amount of there was like so many different sides as to what the thoughts were on the ending, and I feel like the ending was disappointing, but in the way that it was intended to be, in the sense of like we were looking for answers, and I think the ironic point of it was that we weren't supposed to receive answers. As Cheesy had already, as you already met, you know, you mentioned this and etc. Cheesy was really secretive about, you know, his thoughts and processes in regards to not processes, but like thoughts with the show and ideas with the show. So I think not receiving all the answers kind of just like ties in the show altogether, because that's essentially what was going on the entire time. And not everything has to have an answer, I guess, is, I don't want to say immoral. These are objects. It's a backpack. It's a soda bottle. But it's like, I guess in that aspect, if you want to turn it to an English 4 teacher about this, I guess it's kind of like the message.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty open ending.
Yeah.
Like, but I think it's largely, for what it is, relatively positive.
Yeah, no, that's true. I personally
Like, I don't really see a way that like it can get worse from there.
And I think that's a nice perspective on it, because I was thinking when looking at that, I was like, I don't know what the hell's happening from here, but I don't think, like, I don't know X amount of time it's gonna take for characters to get out of there. But like I personally didn't see it in much of like a positive light, just kind of like a that happened light.
I see, yeah.
But I think that also kind of works out with the perspective of people, which leads to a multitude of quote unquote endings. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about all I've got to ask. Is there anything else you want to say, or maybe talk about if you want to bring anything up? Because I'm totally down to delve into anything that isn't just related to object show community stuff.
I don't know. I don't have anything on mind, I guess, right now. So.
I'm trying to like not just be like, what are you into? Because that sounds wrong. But just but like, I don't know. What ends up happening, I guess, in maybe spare time in between episodes of something being released, or just episodes of, or skits, or etc. I guess. Hobbies, maybe. I don't know.
Like, what do I, like, stuff I do to like waste time or something?
I guess stuff you enjoy doing. Any way for me to not say what do you or like, you know, what are you into? Anything to prevent me asking that question. That sounds so fucking wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like a lot of stuff. I've been recently getting to a few things. Like, I've been getting to chess recently.
Oh, really?
Is one thing, yeah. I've been playing chess kind of like out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah?
I've been playing chess a bit more.
I know chess is kind of like one of those things where it's like, you don't know what to do, and then once you make a move, you realize all the things you could have done in a given move. I don't know. Chess is a weird world. I found a video recently. I don't know what the hell happened. Just like got put on my recommended. But I found this like video of 3-player chess, and I was like, what is this? And it's like a real thing. There are 3 players for the chessboard. There's like it's like a circle. It's I don't know.
Oh.
I forget when I was at work.
I see.
I was scooping ice cream, and I was like, oh, what's this? It's just, I don't know.
I know, like, this was a while ago, but I know there's like 4-player chess, and I used to play that like with my friends, and it's really funny.
Imagine it's like esports. It's just like chess doubles. I don't know if you watch the Smash community. Okay, that sounds wrong. I don't know if you watch the Super Smash Brothers community. But all their stuff.
Not really.
No.
I've seen some stuff, but like not really.
But just like the aspect of like walking a tournament doubles of just chess. How would that work? Do you just like take turns making a move for your team, or like?
I don't know. Well, usually 4 players, like it's like a free for all. So I don't know.
Shit.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know how it would be doubles. I guess maybe if like
just take turns.
It would be like 2 sets, and then 2 people are on the same team, I guess.
Yeah, I just like whenever they hit the clock, you like, it's like passing a bop it. You just like switch chairs.
I guess that would work too.
Oh no, we're making a new game. This is. We'll go into details afterwards.
Yeah.
We're gonna be rich. No. Man. Yeah. All right. Anything else really in regards to hobbies, or just chess?
I think that's pretty much
It's
it.
pretty much just chess.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's other stuff, but there's not much I could really say about it.
That's probably fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for chatting. Appreciate your time. And
No problem.
any plugs?
Follow me everywhere.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I hope to do more of these. We'll see what random people I bump into.
All right.
But yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Thank you.
now.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. All right. All right, it's post me. Thank you again for watching, and I plan on doing more of these in the future, and I have some people in mind. But if you guys also have people in mind, let me know. And yeah, I want to thank Diamondcup67 again for being a part of this, and take care.